Hello, and welcome to Japan Lyric Room. We are so glad you are here with us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
In this show, we take our time to deeply savor the lyrics of Japanese songs, delivering clear, easy-to-understand explanations of the meanings behind the phrases and the unique cultural backgrounds of Japan.
It is wonderful to have you listening today. If you have ever felt the magic of a song, but wondered about the hidden depths beneath the melody, you are exactly where you need to be.
Absolutely. And today, we are focusing on a track that completely just shook the global music scene. We're talking about Idol by the brilliant Japanese music duo YOASOBI.
Oh yeah, this is a song you have likely heard, even if you don't speak a single word of Japanese.
Right. It has this incredible, undeniable energy that just grabs you from the very first second.
That energy absolutely propelled it to historic heights. And it is essential to mention right away that this song is the theme song for the globally massive anime OshiNoKo.
Such a huge phenomenon.
Completely. Its impact simply cannot be overstated. Idol is a historic masterpiece. It actually became the first Japanese song ever to hit #1 on the Billboard Global Exclamation US chart.
Which is just wild to think about.
It completely shattered international boundaries in the process.
It really did. And the behind-the-scenes story of how this track came to life is it's just fascinating to me.
Oh, the IS story.
Yes. The composer of YOASOBI, ISA, was actually a passionate hardcore fan of the original OshiNoKo manga long before any anime adaptation was even announced.
He was a massive fan.
Exactly. He was so deeply obsessed with the story that he voluntarily started writing a demo track for it on his own time. He hadn't even received an official offer to create the theme song yet.
That is dedication.
Right. He just felt this overwhelming compulsion to translate his love for the story into music.
And you can hear it. That sheer unbridled passion is audibly woven into the track. When you listen to Idol, you are immediately struck by its dizzying original composition.
It really throws you around.
It does. Ayase utilizes sudden key changes and pentatonic scales that seem designed to, directly stimulate the listener's brain.
Actually, can we pause on that for a second? Because I think it's super interesting. For anyone listening who might not be a music theory expert, what exactly is a pentatonic scale, and why does it stimulate the brain so much?
It's a really great question. A pentatonic scale is simply a musical scale made up of 5 notes per octave, rather than the standard 7 you find in a regular major or minor scale.
Okay, so you're just dropping 2 notes.
Exactly. By removing those 2 extra notes, you essentially remove the half steps that create musical tension or dissonance.
Oh, I see.
What you are left with is a melody that feels incredibly open, primal, and universally catchy. It is heavily used in traditional Japanese music, but also in global pop anthems. Your brain instantly recognizes the pattern and latches onto it.
It's like a musical shortcut to our pleasure centers.
It really is. Combine that incredibly catchy scale with the song's chaotic genre switching, throwing you from hard-hitting hip-hop to infectious dance music, and then suddenly into the grand religious sounds of a choir, and it creates maximum brain stimulation.
It's musical whiplash in the best possible way.
That is the perfect way to describe it.
It keeps you entirely off balance, yet you can't stop listening.
Yeah.
But, to truly understand why the song is structured in such a chaotic, multifaceted way, we really have to look at its narrative foundation.
We do. The secret behind the song's deep narrative is that it's based on a short novel called 455 Sem, written by Akasaka, the creator of OshiNoKo.
And that number, 45510, it's not random at all.
Not at all. It was the smartphone passcode left behind by the story's protagonist, the legendary idol, Hoshino.
I want to make sure you, the listener, can really visualize this detail because it is so incredibly cool. If you picture an old-school Japanese flip phone, each physical number key has letters assigned to it.
Just like texting before smartphones.
Exactly. If you type the first letter of each of the original 5 girls' names in her group, B-Komachi, your thumb hits the keys, 45510.
It perfectly symbolizes her origin.
Yeah, her roots, forever locked into her phone as a silent tribute.
It is such a beautiful, tragic detail. And it beautifully sets the stage for what we are doing today.
Right, so the mission of today's lyric analysis is to navigate this complex emotional landscape. The song's lyrics rapidly switch perspectives, bouncing from the point of view of passionate fans to a fiercely jealous former group member, and finally to the deeply lonely Hoshino herself.
It's a very crowded song, narratively speaking.
It really is. Our goal today is to slowly savor the lyrics and uncover how the song explores the very essence of being an idol. We're going to see how it attempts to elevate fiction and lies into genuine truth and love.
It is a profound journey. We have selected 7 defining phrases from the song to explore this, starting with the very opening moments of her public persona.
Let's jump into the first phrase, which translates to dominating the media with an invincible smile.
Dominating and disrupting the media with an invincible smile.
Disrupting, right.
Yes. The fascinating cultural nuance here lies in the Japanese verb arasu. This word translates to disrupt or ruin, and it is almost exclusively a negative word in Japanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you would use arasu to describe a wild boar destroying a farmer's garden or a severe storm ravaging a coastal town. But here, it is used to describe how Ai's sheer charisma overturns and essentially ruins all the established norms of the entire entertainment industry.
I never realized it was such an aggressive word. That is a striking contrast.
It is very intentional.
You have this incredibly peaceful, welcoming image of a smile. An invincible smile, no less paired with the violent act of disrupting or ruining.
Exactly.
To the public, she has an angelic, innocent exterior, but beneath that is a cold, calculating talent. She isn't just participating in the media ecosystem. She is a beautiful wrecking ball, manipulating the masses with absolute precision.
A beautiful wrecking ball is the perfect analogy. She commands attention not just by being pretty, but by completely dismantling the competition around her.
But if she's acting like a media typhoon, sweeping everything away, people don't usually feel warmly toward a typhoon.
No, they run from it.
Exactly. They might be in awe, but they wouldn't feel connected to it. How does she keep the fans feeling like they actually have a relationship with her? That brings us to how she actually hooks her fans in with our second phrase.
Let's hear it.
Which translates to, even her flaws are her territory.
Even her flaws and ditziness are part of her territory of charm. To deeply understand this, we need to unpack the word nukaturu.
Okay, what does that imply?
It means to be imperfect, slightly ditzy, or to have noticeable gaps in one's armor. In Japanese idol culture, and arguably in human psychology generally, absolute, flawless perfection can actually be quite alienating.
It creates a wall.
It creates an insurmountable wall between the performer and the audience. However, slight imperfections, a moment of clumsiness, forgetting a lyric on a talk show, a silly mispronunciation create approachability. It makes the fans feel needed.
That makes total sense. It's like purposefully leaving a slight smudge on a masterpiece painting, so the viewer feels comfortable stepping closer to look at it, instead of standing back in fearful awe.
That's a great way to put it.
And the really brilliant part of this lyric is the specific use of the word territory.
How do you mean?
Well, calling these flaws her territory means her apparent vulnerability is not an accident. It is a highly weaponized, carefully calculated part of her self-production. She knows exactly when to stumble, so her fans will rush forward wanting to catch her.
Spot on. It is the ultimate display of professional idol craft. She controls not just her strengths, but her perceived weaknesses.
But wait, I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
If the fans are obsessed with her flaws, doesn't that open a really dangerous door?
It absolutely does.
Right, like if they love seeing a silly mistake, what stops them from wanting to see a total breakdown? Don't they ultimately want their idol to be perfect?
That is exactly the dark underbelly this song explores, and it leads us directly into our third phrase.
Essentially, the secret you almost see but can't is as sweet as honey.
The secret you almost see but can't is as sweet as honey, captivating everyone. If we connect this to the broader spectrum of human psychology, the phrase mitsu no aji, the taste of honey, is deeply tied to a specific Japanese idiom.
What is the idiom?
It is the cultural equivalent of schadenfreude, the concept that the misfortune of others tastes like honey.
That is genuinely chilling. So what does this actually mean for an idol's day-to-day life?
It's terrifying, honestly.
It exposes a deeply toxic, predatory reality about the audience. As fans, we love to see an idol shine brightly on stage. We cheer for them. But simultaneously, there's this collective, almost subconscious desire to see behind the curtain.
To find the cracks.
Yeah, to find a scandal, to watch the perfect doll crack under the immense pressure.
Yes. The audience treats her hidden secrets and her potential downfall as a sweet treat to be consumed for entertainment. They worship her, but they also devour her.
It's a consumption of a human being.
It is. The phrase, the secret you almost see but can't, is what keeps them perpetually hungry. They hover around her like bees to nectar, waiting for just one drop of that hidden truth to spill so they can consume it.
Which means her absolute dedication to her persona isn't just for show. It is a vital defense mechanism against a world that wants to consume her.
Exactly.
To survive that predatory gaze, she needs an ultimate shield. That brings us to our fourth phrase, which is arguably the emotional and philosophical core of the entire song.
This is a massive one.
It really is. Meaning, even if it's a lie, that is perfect love.
Even if it's a lie, if it's a perfect performance to make someone happy, then it is true love, and it is I herself. What is truly fascinating here is the incredible multi-layered wordplay of I in the Japanese language.
It's so dense.
In this single phonetic sound, there are at least 5 distinct meanings converging at once. It means love. It means I, as in the English word for the ego or self. It sounds like I, the pupil that observes the world. It is her very name, I, and it is the first syllable of the word idol.
I am just blown away by that level of songwriting. You have 5 different concepts entirely layered over a single syllable.
That's pure genius.
And the narrative context of this story makes it profoundly heartbreaking. Hoshino grew up in a harsh environment, completely devoid of love. She honestly didn't know what love felt like, so when she initially stood on stage and smiled, telling her fans I love you, she was fully aware that it was a total fabrication. It started as a lie.
But the philosophical twist the lyric presents is this. By perfectly performing that lie day in and day out, pouring her entire soul into making people smile, the performance itself formed her very identity.
It became real.
Yes, the lie eventually assimilated into genuine love.
She essentially faked it until she made it on an existential level. She created love out of nothing, simply by acting as if it were real for the sake of others. It is a breathtaking concept.
It is, but of course, a sun that burns that brightly bending reality to its will casts very dark, sharp shadows.
That's a great point. Not everyone is in the light.
Exactly. And the people standing in those shadows have their own story to tell. Let's look at the 5th phrase, where the song's perspective violently shifts away from I.
Okay, here's the phrase. So the singer is saying, I'm just the supporting act B for the star.
I'm just a supporting B player meant only to make the star shine brighter.
Wow, the tone change is jarring.
It really is. This perspective shifts to a fiercely jealous former group member. The word Ohoshi-san literally translates to the stars in the night sky, but in the entertainment world, it also means a star, directly referring to I.
Right.
And hikitateaku translates to a supporting role, or someone whose only purpose in a given situation is to make someone else look better by comparison.
You can just feel the intense acidic bitterness dripping from these words. Earlier you mentioned their idol group was called B-Komachi, so the singer of this line is bitterly using the letter B from their own group's name to mean B-list or a disposable backup dancer.
It's so layered with resentment.
I really empathize with the agony in this lyric. Imagine devoting your entire life to a dream, shedding blood, sweat, and tears in endless rehearsals, giving up your youth, only to realize that no matter how hard you work, you will never ever be the center.
It's a tough reality to swallow.
You are just a dark velvet cushion meant to hold the diamond. People only look at you to see how much brighter you make AI look.
That realization is absolutely soul-crushing. It shows the brutal, unforgiving hierarchy of the idol industry. For one star to shine flawlessly and maintain that illusion of perfection, others must be forcefully relegated to the darkness to provide contrast.
You're looking at that blinding star from the shadows. Those backup members see exactly how the sausage is made. They see the foundation she stands on. Which leads us to our 6th phrase.
Let's go through it.
Building a career on the lie of I love you.
Building a career by stacking up the lies of saying, I love you. The key word to deeply analyze here is sumu. It means to accumulate effort over time, like gaining experience. But it also carries the specific visual nuance of artificially stacking blocks.
Like a precarious tower.
Exactly, one on top of the other. Ai's repeated I love you to her fans was a professional lie, a necessary tool of her trade.
It exposes the incredibly cruel structure of the idol industry. You can only climb the stairs to stardom by stacking these lies. You cannot be a messy, complicated human being. You have to be a flawlessly constructed tower of fantasies.
You have to be perfect.
But is it entirely cynical? I mean, yes, she is lying, but she's doing it to make them smile, right? I think there's a deeply tragic sincerity to it. The immense towering height of her stacked lies is exactly equal to the massive amount of happiness she has gifted to millions of people.
That is the paradox at the heart of the idol. The tower may be made of artificial blocks, but the joy it brings to the people looking up at it is completely, undeniably real. She sacrifices her own truth to provide their happiness.
And the physical and emotional weight of carrying that precarious tower eventually takes its toll. That sacrifice is gorgeously rendered in our final lyric, the 7th phrase.
The emotional climax.
Right, which means, even the falling sweat is beautiful, Aqua. These eyelids hiding the ruby.
Even the sweat she sheds is turned into beautiful aqua. Beneath her eyelids, she hides rubies. This is an absolutely stunning double meaning using colors and gemstones.
The wordplay, again, is just incredible.
It's masterful. Aqua, representing light blue, and ruby, representing red, are actually the names of AI's secret children in the story.
And beyond the clever inclusion of her children's names, these colors perfectly represent the ultimate dichotomy of the idol life.
Yeah.
The fans look at her on stage and they see this pure, beautiful, sparkling exterior.
You see what they want to see.
Right. They view even her intense physical exhaustion, her falling sweat, as something clean and precious, like a glittering aqua gemstone.
But hidden away, literally trapped behind her closed eyelids, is the heavy blood-red truth of her reality. The ruby represents her hidden pain, her messy humanity, and her intensely guarded secret life as a mother.
She's completely isolated.
She has to keep her eyes firmly closed to the world to protect the most precious, real thing she has. The audience gets the sparkling blue water. She alone carries the weight of the red blood.
Wow, it actually gives me goosebumps just thinking about it when you lay it all out like that.
It's a very heavy image.
The transition from the invincible smile at the beginning to the heavy closed eyelids at the end is so powerful. Let's take a moment to step back and summarize the emotional journey of this song.
Good idea.
When you look at all these pieces together, the ultimate truth of YOASOBI's Idol, and perhaps of Japanese pop culture as a whole, is this profound idea that lies are a spectacular form of love.
Yes, absolutely. Through this incredibly rapid, disorienting perspective switching in the lyrics, we have witnessed the full spectrum of this world. We saw the dazzling, blinding light of the center stage.
We saw the dark side, too.
We felt the bitter, agonizing jealousy of the supporting cast trapped in the shadows. And most importantly, we felt the absolute crushing loneliness of the perfect idol herself.
Hoshino built an entire empire, an entire career, on perfectly constructed lies. But the tragedy and the overwhelming beauty of her story is at the very moment she was finally able to say a genuine "I love you," not as a scripted performance, but as a raw truth from her heart, she became an eternal legend.
It's poetic.
This song isn't just an upbeat dance track. It is a blindingly bright, incredibly energetic, yet deeply sad requiem for a girl who just wanted to learn how to love.
It truly is a masterpiece of storytelling through music. And before we close our session today, this raises an important, provocative question I want to leave you with, something to mull over the next time you listen to your favorite artists or watch your favorite celebrities.
I'd love to hear it.
If the cruel structure of the entertainment industry actively demands this flawless perfection, and if we, as the audience, find their hidden flaws and secrets as sweet as honey, are we ultimately the ones forcing them to build a career on lies? How does understanding this dynamic change the way you look at the flawless, perfect stars shining on your screens today?
That is a heavy but incredibly necessary thought to carry with you.
Thank you so much for listening to us today.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
We pick up various Japanese songs and update detailed lyric explanations on our blog. If you want to savor and appreciate the lyrics even more deeply, please check out our website using the link in the episode description.
Be sure to check it out.
If you enjoyed this show, please subscribe to our channel or follow us. We would love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any requests for songs you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments.
We always love reading those.
Until next time, this was Japan Lyric Room.